Good. Try it again. And we're out. Okay. So, the reason we want to squeeze those lats, guys, is because those basically help stabilize us on the bench. Okay. If our lats are relaxed, okay, your elbows can go anywhere. All right. So what happens if I pull that bar out and I don't do anything with those lats? My elbows are going to probably pop way out to the side. All right. So a couple reasons I want my elbows in. They're going to help me actually lift a little bit more weight. Okay, and it's also going to be a lot better on your shoulders. So a lot of people can bench a lot of weight with their elbows way out here, but ask how many shoulder surgeries they've had if they've been doing it that way for 20 years. Okay, I know a lot of guys that have been doing it that way, and they about every couple of years have rotator cuff surgery, things like that.
And we've got at the high level, and Erik's been pretty healthy. I mean, torn pecs and torn triceps are part of the deal, and which is terrible. You know, you lose a lot of training time on that.
Yeah, and from a football standpoint, the bench, you guys love the bench press. It's good for you to do, but the important thing is that you're on the field playing. It isn't that you bench as much as you could, but you hurt your shoulder doing it. Okay, you should never lift in a way that could get you hurt and keep you off the field. Okay, so go and lay back in there. All right, so I want you to try that again. Slide yourself back just a little. Okay, and now he just wants to push himself in so that back gets nice and tight. Okay, and this time when you pull it down, I want you to think about keep those elbows tucked in. But on the way up, when you're pressing, I want you to push your elbows out on the way up. Okay, so you're going to tuck them in on the way down, and as you start to press it up, you're going to push them out and finish like that. Okay, so we're going to take the bar out. Tuck them in and push them out on the way up. Now you see how those elbows start to pop out after that first rep? So very good on the first one. And relax. Good. Okay? So what we want to do is make sure, I'm going to show you in a second here. So what we want to do is make sure that we don't let those elbows pop out, especially after rep 1. Okay? So you did a good job on the first one. Okay, but watch real quick. So I'm going to slide back. Okay, I'm going to slide my back in, okay, and now, Coach, you tell them anywhere specific to put their feet?
Why don't you guys tell Coach what have I told you, what do you remember?
Okay, so, yeah, so that's a good way to go. I basically have two different ways I teach people. So, if we're going through combine training, I'm trying to work with somebody on how to bench correctly, okay, that is one way I'll do it. Okay, I'll stick those feet underneath my butt, get the balls of my feet on the ground. Okay, some people, like myself, I'll get my feet out wider so that I feel a little more stable. Okay, so it really kind of depends on your comfort level a little bit that way. All right, if you're going to get your feet way under here, I want you to think about push your heels into the ground. Your heels aren't going to touch the ground if you're like this, but I want you to think about it. Okay. What that does is that helps engage your hips, it helps you use your legs a little bit, and it's going to keep you a little more solid. Alright? So, if you're sticking those feet underneath you like this, and you slide yourself in, okay, that chest should be up, that back's into the bench, and then as you take the bar out, okay, I want to see squeeze your lats, pull it down, and then press it on the way up, okay? Let those elbows come out on the way up, but then when you pull it down again, got to make sure they tuck in.
So is it kind of like a corkscrew?
Yeah, a little bit. So basically what's happening, and what a lot of people do incorrectly, is that they'll tuck those elbows in, guys, but then they'll try to keep them tucked in on the way up. Okay? And if you ever watch somebody tuck their elbows in on the way up, if they do this, they press the bar away from them like that, okay? So you don't want to do that because what happens if you have a heavy weight and the bar gets out here, you can't use your tricep strength at all, okay? But if I push back here, now I can use my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps all to lock it up. Okay? So, let's get a guy in each bench. Let's get a spotter out there. Okay, and let's have you guys, let's just go through. I want you to go slowly right now. Let's bring the bar down in control, work on squeezing those lats, tucking the elbows in. All right, and I want everybody just to hit 5 reps, and then whoever's spotting them can switch up. All right?
All right, here we go, guys.
So I'm kind of moving the bar forward and back a little bit. My forearm should always point straight up and down. Okay? So what I'm seeing a lot of you guys do right now is you're actually bringing the bar down like this. Okay? So what I don't want to do is a tricep extension. So what a lot of guys are doing is this. Okay? So that looks like a tricep extension, right? Okay? And I don't want to do this. See how my elbows are behind the bar? Okay, I want to keep it in a straight line so that I can use, so that I have basically a much better lever as I'm pressing. Okay, so if you're here, that's kind of a weaker lever. You're making your triceps do all the work. Okay, if you're here, your triceps can't work much, now your shoulders are doing all the work. Okay, so think of this as like doing a front raise, this is like doing a tricep extension. Okay, both aren't as strong as using both together. Okay. So use a stronger lever and make sure that those elbows or your wrists and elbows stay perfectly vertical the whole time. Okay? But one of those things, like Coach kind of asked before, is with your grip. If your hands are relaxed, you're going to tend to do this. Okay? So right before you take the bar out, squeeze it tight. That'll help those lats engage, and that'll help the bar path work out a little better. Okay? Kind of last point before we kind of keep going, just try to help you guys go through this a little bit. Is I want to, just like if you're squatting or deadlifting, doing a clean, any of those things, okay, is take a deep breath. But what most people do is they take a deep breath right here, okay? If I take a deep breath here, my abs aren't doing anything, okay? So what I try to teach people is to fill their stomach up with as much air as they can, and then their abs get tight, and their back gets tight, okay? And then now you're nice and stable, all right? Literally, I've seen guys that just do that, and I've seen them literally be able to bench 25 pounds just that day. 25 pounds more, okay? Just because if they're relaxed here, you can get all kinds of movement going on, okay? Taking a deep breath in your right up here in your chest is not going to help keep those abs tight and keep you on the bench in a nice stable position.
And when you take that big breath?
I take it, so I get the bar out. I get the bar out, I get right here, before I press it, I go. And then I don't exhale until I have to, okay? If it's an easy weight, you shouldn't have to exhale until you get all the way to the top, okay? But if it's heavy, I would exhale right as I start to get stuck. Okay? Any questions about that, guys? None? I explained it pretty well. All right, let's keep going.